Hi, my name is Victoria Boutros, and I am a teacher for Baltimore City Public Schools. I teach ninth grade strategic reading at Digital Harbor High School. Last year, I worked for Oakland Unified School District as a STIP sub, which is an on site, full time substitute teacher. Classroom management is one of the most important tools for teaching. If your classroom is not managed well, there's very little learning happening and very little teaching happening. My ideas of classroom management have really shifted in the last few months. Being a substitute teacher, I think classroom management is one of the first tools that you really have to learn to get a handle on. Um, Kids more often misbehave for subs. Something I remember from being a student myself is, thinking how much can we get away with when the teacher's not here? And so it's definitely more disciplinary, and adapting that into a classroom where you are the full-time teacher. Restorative justice really needs to be the focus of all of your interactions with students. Oakland, as some of you may know, is the birthplace of restorative justice, and so I try to operate from a lens of restorative justice in all of my interaction with students and staff and really people just in life. Go ahead.
Well, what I've learned about Ms. Boutros' classroom is that you don't have to be afraid to be wrong. You can always express your feelings. You can talk to her about anything, and really, there's no right or wrong answer in her class. I learned that you can be yourself instead of trying to be somebody that you're not. You don't have to try to get everything right. You don't have to try to be perfect. You can try to help others out as well along the way.
The theme for my classroom is Be a Rainbow in Somebody Else's Cloud. It's based on a Maya Angelou quote. I really wanted to create a space where my students feel comfortable to learn, but are also having fun in a colorful environment that's warm and inviting. I created a series of paintings of famous individuals throughout history that are noteworthy, and we analyze quotes from them on a regular basis. Also, a cool down space for them to get a grip on things when things might not be going the way that they need them to. I think most people don't really have a great handle on what restorative justice means. It isn't simply a conference. Restorative justice can happen at the smallest level in every interaction that you have. I think when most people think about restorative justice, they think, oh, it's a circle, it's a conference. And yes, it is, but restorative justice is really the foundation of all of the interactions that I have with my students. It's about restoring the peace when the peace has been broken. And that's doesn't have to be a huge conference every single time there is an issue. It's as simple as, seeing a student the next morning by their locker and just, going in and checking in on them like, hey, how's your day going so far? We're going to have a great day today, and I look forward to seeing you in class. One of my coworkers said it best when she said, even my students that give me the hardest times, I am happy to see because I know what the alternative is. And so it's about being happy to see your students and understanding that every day is a new day. Oh my God, this Kimora has her hand almost touching the ceiling, so I'm gonna let her share. Go ahead, Kimora. We're gonna be respectful, right? We just went through this. We're gonna be respectful when our classmates are sharing things or talking. Go ahead, Kimora. One thing that I've really taken away from this course in terms of restorative justice is the practice of class meetings and check-ins, and also really operating from a lens of humanity. This is something that I do with my students often. Instead of just yelling, be quiet, I say, hey, we know how we're supposed to treat our fellow humans, right? We know how we want to be treated when we're talking, right? And that has really, really been working. Our biweekly class meetings have been such a hit. They have really helped me create a space of cooperation without too much dominance, which Marzano says is one of the most essential tools to creating an environment where students can learn. I try to create a space where students are accepted as individuals, a safe space where empathy is shown across the board. My students are so smart. I have no doubt that they are going to create such meaningful change in the world. And not only do they have this exuberant intelligence, but they also are just so lively and so just amazing. They're funny, they make my day every day, and I couldn't imagine life without them at this point. The packet? You can turn it on Monday if you want to. Some evidence that these strategies are working is I have this normal lunch crew that now comes in to hang out with me. It started off because they had detention and they just kept coming back, which is kind of amazing. Who's singing? Aw, that's sweet. Anything in particular?
Well, I don't like reading articles, but like I'm like the activities and stuff that we do.
What do you like about my class?
Time out, I'm research. I got
Okay.
I like that how we have a topic every week, so it's not just random stuff, and we always have a topic to say on, and we can relate the topic to the next topic. Is there something else we're searching for?
I'm falling.
Okay.
Stop!
Myself alone for a chance. And at that times I feel myself.
All right, I'll stop recording.